One of these days we'll get a real clapper. So action again. So hopefully, this is our episode 9 of Behind the Wheel, and we want to talk about finding and trusting a mechanic, because it's been something that I've been fighting against my whole career. 40 years I've been doing this, and I've heard horror stories the whole 40 years, and not that I think it's ever going to go anywhere, but I would like to dispel some of the myths and some of the problems that unscrupulous shops have done. It's unscrupulous mechanics, service writers, all that stuff. I mean, it happens almost every day. And hopefully when you find a mechanic you can trust, this guy here, you stick with them. And I'm pretty proud to say that between my father and I, we have 4 or 5 generations of customers. I'm going to say dating back to the 60s. Some of my dad's friends, even though they're up in age now, have stuck with me after my father retired. And that was a testament to him and his training to me and our code of ethics and how we roll. So hopefully you can find this enjoyable and, most important, informative. I'll do what I can, and we'll go from there. But one of the biggest things, as soon as this goddamn fly gets out of here, damn it, Craig. Yeah, what the hell. But one of the biggest things, the achievements that I have, is becoming a AAA-approved auto repair facility. Now, to be an AAR is no easy task. Not easy. You got to go through all kinds of rigid requirements and stress, all kinds of stuff to go through there. The process is really involved. So one of the biggest things is they take 300 of our repair orders, random. So you're not going to get them in order when you had a nice stretch of people, coming in. And so they get it and they pull them, and you have to score 90% or better to become a AAA approved auto repair or affiliated with AAA in any way, because their brand recognition is what they have. So I'm proud to say I scored 99.8 on that. I'm still trying to find out why that 0.2 happened. So, and it's been 25 years, so I guess I should give up by now. They're probably gone. So, no, actually what happened was during the polling, one of the people filling it out said that we left a thumbprint on their door handle. So I told him to come back. We'll wipe it off and he'll be okay. Then I'll have 100%. But he never did come back. So, but if that's the worst case, okay, I'll live with that. So we are AAA approved auto repair, which gives you a lot of benefits. Aside from being having the code of ethics that we have to follow, which I actually surpass. AAA wanted me more than I needed them. So that's a nice feather in my cap. You get discounts, 10% off of labor. You get the priority service. If you get towed in from AAA, you come right in and we get right on it and look at it. I'm not saying we're going to fix it right away, but we'll at least give you an idea what's going on. So look into being a AAA member. So if you're not, contact AAA Mid-Atlantic and get on board. So, all right. So now some of the things that have happened over the years. I've had a couple of recent ones, but constantly having to correct invoices and estimates. People come in and I'll say, I was at this such and such place, or I was at such and such dealer, and they're giving me a $3,500 estimate on stuff, and I only took it in for an oil change, or I only took it in because of a recall. Now, let's say, okay, recalls. Real quick, I'll touch on that. Manufacturer recalls. Some are really legit. Some are some BS crap. And what they do is they get you in there, under the guise of a recall. They call it a safety recall, and they get you in there, freak you out, and then they try to sell you a whole bunch of stuff you may or may not need. But they throw the fear of God in you, which is pretty pathetic. So we go over it, and then we look at people's estimates, and we explain to people, this is what you need, this is what you don't need, or maybe you don't need any of it. I've had a couple of those recently. I mean, I'll throw a couple examples out here. Just this week, I've had a customer that she's been a long-time customer, but she's an elderly lady. She came in with a check engine light, so we scanned it, told her what it was, told her, don't worry about it. We'll get you in. We're booked up for about a week and a half, and we'll take care of it then. Well, she was upset that we couldn't get her in right away, and she took it to another shop. Well, the part that she needed was probably going to run about $300, $275, I believe. And she took it to another shop, and she came back. She goes, I took it over there because you were too busy, and they gave me they fixed everything, and it all came to $1,700. And I'm like, how could that be? So they said they changed all kinds of stuff that she didn't even go in for. They told her she needed, and she was elderly, so they scared her. And I said, yeah, you're right. You didn't need that stuff. Otherwise, I would have told you, and we would have worked it out somehow. So she goes, I know, but I couldn't say no once I was already there. I'm like, you could have said no. But anyway, so the best part is they did all that work, had nothing to do with what she took it in for, and her check engine light came back on for the same thing. So we ended up getting her back in. I said, we'll get you in day after tomorrow. Don't freak out. And, we took care of it, and it was $200 some. But she spent $1,700 she didn't need to spend. And they were selling her all kinds of safety stuff. And I said, I would never send you out with something unsafe. So, if you needed something, I would have told you. We would have worked it out. We would have worked the time. We would have worked with you on a lot of things. So, if you do and you come in and we tell you we're going to be a week or week and a half out, which we are that busy right now, don't fret. We'll get you in here. And if it's a safety issue, like if it's brakes, I will rearrange my schedule to get it in there. So, because we don't play around with brakes. So, other things you can look for, here's a total blowout. So I'm going to try to make it quick, Craig. So we'll see. Because I have a whole lot of stories. All right. Here's the biggest one that I've had in my career. We had a Land Rover. A guy took it to the Land Rover dealer. They told him he needed a $5,800 transmission. So he's like, well, let me get a second opinion. So he brought it to me. We looked it over. We checked the codes. We scanned everything on it. It turns out that being Land Rover and a lot of European cars, everything's all tied together. Somebody had put a trailer hitch on it and wired in the lights and tied in the wrong light bulbs into the lights. And what happens is it backfeeds the computer and tells the transmission to not shift because it sees a fault. Like the brakes are on, so it says stop, and you got a transmission. So it turned out we put in like $14 of light bulbs, and it solved their problem. And they didn't. It still, their trailer hitch still worked. So yeah, go figure. And their transmission's fine. So now I have a customer for life because of that. But it's just things like that. I have hundreds of stories over the years. I got a list here. But obviously I don't have enough time to do it now because we were busy chasing flies. So, but yeah. So do some research on your mechanic, on the shop. Check it out. We'll never do you wrong. If you need something, a bunch of stuff, we'll prioritize it by your funds and time, and we'll make sure that you're okay all the time. And just like I said, do your research. If it's not me, ask the questions. Don't be afraid to ask us questions if you're at our place, and we'll always give you the right answer, even if you don't like it. It's fine. I'm not always going to say what you want to hear, but it will be the right thing. And we always live by the motto my dad said. He goes, if you do this and you're fair with customers, you're never going to be rich, but you'll be doing this at a high level for a long time. And you will live comfortably, and you'll be able to sleep at night. And it's true. I've been doing this for a long time. I've treated all my customers the same way my dad did. Very fair. I'm not rich. I don't plan to be. I really don't even care to be at this point. I just want to be happy, and I want to know that at the end of the day that I took care of my customers and my customers are happy and they trust me, because their trust means more to me than any money they can give me. When somebody comes in and says, just call me when it's done, Fred, that means everything to me. So I'll still call you with a price, but with an estimate. But the fact that they have that much faith in me goes a long, long way, and I'm going to give it right back to you. So hope this works. Hope everybody liked it. And now we're going to go back to chasing flies. It's all right. All right. Yeah, I'm not rich. But I'm okay.